See, I was so surprised, Jack. You don't know what to do. In fact,
Jungle Jim? Boy, he is. Oh, the kids love this guy. Duke actually helped.
Johnny Weissmuller died suddenly in 1984, and his son also met a mysterious end in 2006. Known as the iconic Tarzan, Johnny's life seemed like a dream, yet deep sadness was hidden beneath it all. His journey began in a small Romanian town, and he moved to America as a young boy, filled with hopes. Despite their fame, the sudden deaths of Johnny and his son are shrouded in mystery. What secrets are lurking behind these tragedies? Let's uncover the horrifying truths behind their sudden departures. The tragic legacy of Hollywood's Jungle King. His athleticism and charm made him a household name as Tarzan. But behind all the fame and adventure was a much sadder story. In 1984, Johnny passed away unexpectedly, leaving his fans and family heartbroken. The sadness didn't end there. His son, Johnny Weissmuller Jr., also died suddenly in 2006. What led to these tragic losses? Let's take a closer look at the lives of this father and son and the events that brought their journeys to such early ends. A chilling discovery in Johnny Weissmuller's old estate would soon cast a new light on these tragedies, unearthing secrets that had been buried for decades. Before we dive into the heartbreaking details of their deaths, it's important to look back at the incredible life he led. Born Johann Peter Weissmuller on June 2nd, 1904, in a small town called Sabadfalu, now part of Romania, his family came from the Swabian community that had lived in the region for generations. One of his ancestors moved from Baden in 1749, hoping for a fresh start in new lands. Just 3 days after he was born, he was baptized in the local Catholic Church, and his German name was changed to Johnny, following Hungarian customs. In January 1905, the Weissmuller family took a big step toward a new future. They boarded a ship called the SS Rotterdam and sailed to America, arriving at Ellis Island after 12 days at sea. This was the beginning of their life in a new country, with his parents, Peter and Elizabeth, leading the way. Their first home in America was Windber, Pennsylvania, where they found support from relatives who helped them adjust to life in a strange new place. In September of that same year, his younger brother Peter was born, solidifying their new life in the United States. Little did they know he was destined to become both an Olympic champion and a Hollywood legend, playing the role of Tarzan and capturing hearts worldwide. How did this young boy grow into such an iconic figure? And what events led to his and his son's early deaths? These questions take us deeper into the sad and unforgettable story of him and his son. In 1908, the Weissmuller family relocated to Chicago, hoping for better opportunities. They lived in a small apartment in a shared house. Although it wasn't much, this move to Chicago set the stage for his future, filled with both struggles and successes that would shape his life in ways no one could have imagined. Despite their humble beginnings, the bustling life of Chicago gave him room to dream. It was at Fullerton Beach on Lake Michigan that he first found his love for swimming. From the moment he dipped into the water, it was clear he had a natural talent for the sport. While many struggled to learn how to swim, he excelled. As he took part in local swim races, his speed and skill became impossible to ignore, signaling that something great was ahead for him. Swimming became his way to success, with a bright future in the sport. But as he made strides in swimming, his personal life was difficult. When he was in the 8th grade, his father, who had been a big source of support, suddenly left the family. This left them in financial trouble, and he had to drop out of school to help his mother and younger brother. It was a tough decision, but it taught him the importance of hard work and sacrifice. By the time he was 11, he was already deeply committed to swimming. He was so determined to follow his passion that he even lied about his age to join the YMCA, claiming to be 12 when he was actually a year younger. But this wasn't the hardest part of his journey yet. Let's follow his early steps to becoming a champion swimmer. Johnny Weissmuller's rise to swimming stardom. In the clear waters of the YMCA pool, his talent for swimming showed up right away. He spent countless hours perfecting his stroke and improving his speed. It was clear from the start that he was destined for greatness in swimming, fueled by a deep love and passion for the sport. His rise in the world of competitive swimming was fast. As he got better, he caught the attention of the Illinois Athletic Club, one of the best swimming teams in the country. Joining this team was a huge moment in his young life. Here, he trained with some of the best swimmers around, and with each race, he kept winning. Every victory felt like a big achievement, and the cheering crowds only motivated him more. Quickly, he became known for his incredible speed and power in the water. A big moment came when he met Bill Bachrach, a coach who would change his life forever. Bill was amazed by his natural talent and saw great potential in him. Their meeting turned out to be a turning point. Bill wasn't just his coach, he became like a father figure. He guided him through the highs and lows of his swimming career. Bill believed in him, helping him build not just his physical skills, but also teaching him important values like discipline, hard work, and fair play. The connection between him and Bill grew stronger, and this partnership became a key part of his success. On August 6, 1921, he started his competitive swimming career at the Amateur Athletic Union events. His debut was amazing. He won all 4 of his first races, showing everyone his incredible talent and starting a journey that would make him a legend in the sport. But this was just the beginning, as his story was only getting started. On September 27, 1921, at the AAU Nationals, he took things to the next level. He broke world records in the 100-meter and 150-yard events, leaving everyone in awe. These record-breaking moments were just a glimpse of the great things yet to come. His performances amazed everyone and confirmed that he was a rising star in swimming. A major breakthrough came on July 9, 1922. He broke the world record in the 100-meter freestyle, which had been held by the famous Duke Kahanamoku. He swam the race in 58.6 seconds, setting a new world record. This swim was proof of his incredible talent, and it marked a major milestone in his career, showing the world that he was one of the fastest swimmers around. The 1924 Summer Olympics became a highlight of Johnny's career. Competing against the best in the world, he won the gold medal in the 100-meter freestyle, beating Kahanamoku and earning a prestigious title. This victory was a result of years of hard work and skill, making him one of the top swimmers of his time. But the Olympics weren't over for him. He also won gold in the 400-meter freestyle and helped the U.S. team win the 4x100-meter relay, adding even more gold medals to his collection. But things weren't always perfect. Despite these amazing successes, his life also had moments of struggle, showing that even great champions face tough challenges along the way. Johnny Weissmuller's journey to becoming a swimming legend wasn't without its challenges. At the 1928 Summer Olympics in Amsterdam, he won 2 more gold medals, securing his place as one of the best swimmers in history. However, during this time, he got involved with the unusual health ideas of John Harvey Kellogg at the Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan. Now see how a famous health spa influenced his life and career, from Olympic pools to Hollywood Hills. The Battle Creek Sanitarium was famous for its focus on health, where Kellogg promoted unusual methods like regular enemas and a strict vegetarian diet. In 1927, he decided to try these practices and became a supporter of Kellogg's health ideas. He believed these methods would keep him in top shape and help his performance as an athlete. But this was just the start of a complicated phase in his life, one that would follow him for years. Johnny Weissmuller left a huge mark on the swimming world, not just because of his Olympic wins, but also his amazing record-breaking times. One of his biggest accomplishments was setting a world record in the 100-yard freestyle, finishing in 51 seconds. This record stood unbroken for 17 years, showing just how impressive his skill was. Even as he got older, he continued to push himself. In 1940, at 36 years old, he swam the event again at the Billy Rose World's Fair Aquacade and set a new record of 48.5 seconds. But despite this great achievement, there was a downside. Because he was considered a professional, his record wasn't officially recognized, taking away some of the joy from his accomplishment. But this wasn't the only sport he shined in. He also had a strong passion for water polo. Known for his speed and strength, he played a key role on the United States men's national water polo team. At the 1924 Summer Olympics, he helped the team win a bronze medal, adding another layer to his successful career. Unfortunately, the 1928 Olympics didn't go as well. The U.S. team faced tough competition and ended up in 7th place. This result was a harsh reminder that even the best athletes face setbacks. His story didn't end when he retired from swimming. He stepped into the world of movies, starting with a small but memorable role. His first appearance was in Glorifying the American Girl, where he played a silent role as Adonis. In one scene, he carried actress Mary Eaton on his shoulders while wearing only a fig leaf. This odd but unforgettable debut marked the start of a new chapter in his life, blending his athletic skills with the glamour of Hollywood. Fate had big plans for him. His life took a big turn when writer Cyril Hume noticed him. This unexpected meeting led to his movie career and his famous role as Tarzan in Tarzan the Ape Man in 1932. He didn't follow the usual path to becoming an actor. However, his strong athletic skills and confident presence made him perfect for the role of the jungle hero, Tarzan. Playing this character not only made him famous, but also became an important moment in Hollywood's history. But it wasn't an easy road to Hollywood fame. Before he could step into Tarzan's iconic loincloth, he had to deal with a tricky contract with the underwear company, BVD. This deal made it hard for him to move into acting. To solve this, MGM came up with a clever plan. They had stars like Greta Garbo and Marie Dressler appear in BVD ads, which helped free him from his contract. Even though that problem was solved, there were more challenges. Edgar Rice Burroughs, the creator of Tarzan, didn't like how the movie studio changed his character. He was unhappy that the film made Tarzan seem like he couldn't speak good English, which was different from how Tarzan was in the books. As a response, Burroughs made his own film series, casting Herman Brix as a more sophisticated version of Tarzan. Next, discover how his swimming success led him to Hollywood. The Johnny Weissmuller saga still, his Tarzan was a huge success. His acting captured the audience's attention, and his version of Tarzan became legendary in film history. One of the most memorable parts of his performance was the famous Tarzan yell, a wild, haunting call that became a key part of the character. This sound was created with help from sound engineer Douglas Shearer, who worked to make his yell even more powerful. His portrayal of Tarzan became so iconic that he went on to star in another jungle-themed series, Jungle Jim. This role was popular with viewers and led to 16 sequels over the next 8 years, keeping him tied to action-packed jungle stories. The jungle theme remained a big part of his career. He even had a TV show with 16 episodes and 2 more jungle movies, all in 1955. These roles showed off his love for adventure and helped him stay a popular action star in Hollywood. In a fun nod to his early days, he appeared in the 1940 movie Swim Meet, where he played a version of himself alongside other Olympic swimmers. It was a lighthearted tribute to both his swimming and acting careers, creating a special moment in film history. He tried to start a business, Johnny Weissmuller Swimming Pools, but it didn't go well. Financial issues led the business to go bankrupt, reminding him of earlier money troubles, including tax problems. These struggles cast a shadow over his many achievements. By 1957, after making a huge mark in swimming and the movies, he decided to retire from acting. This was the close of a remarkable chapter in his life, as he stepped away from the spotlight to focus on his personal life. Now let's take a closer look at his personal life, especially his romantic relationships, as we uncover more of his story. Johnny Weissmuller's love life was just as dramatic as his famous role as Tarzan. He went through 5 marriages, each filled with moments of happiness, but also deep sadness. His first marriage was to Bobby Arnst, a band singer, in 1931. They had high hopes, but after only 2 years, they divorced. This marked the start of many troubled relationships for him. In 1933, he married actress Lupe Velez, hoping for a new beginning. But again, things didn't work out, and they split in 1939. That same year, he married Beryl Scott, but their marriage followed the same pattern, ending in 1948. His fourth marriage, to Aline Gates in 1948, also didn't last, and they divorced in 1962. However, through all these ups and downs, he found joy in his 3 children, Johnny Weissmuller Jr., Wendy Ann Weissmuller, and Heidi Elizabeth Weissmuller. Sadly, this happiness was overshadowed by tragedy when his daughter Heidi died in a car accident in 1962. The loss of Heidi brought a dark cloud over his life. In 1963, he married for the last time, this time to Maria Gertrudis Baumann. This marriage gave him some peace, and they stayed together until his death in 1984. He also became a stepfather to Maria's daughter, Lisa Weissmuller Gallagher, which added more layers to his already complicated family life. Aside from his rocky relationships, he was also a real-life hero. In 1927, while training for the Chicago Marathon, He rescued 11 people from drowning when their boat capsized. Sadly, some passengers didn't survive, but his bravery that day was undeniable. His later years were spent in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where he hoped for a more peaceful life away from the spotlight. But his health took a turn for the worse. In 1974, he fell and broke his hip and leg, leading to more health issues, including heart problems and strokes. For someone known for his strong and athletic body, this decline was heartbreaking. Finally, we'll look at the personal and public moments that defined his later years. The quiet farewell of a hero. In 1984, he passed away at 79 from pulmonary edema. He was buried in the Valley of the Light Cemetery in Acapulco, a place that had a special meaning to him. His life was filled with incredible highs and deep lows, but he left behind a lasting legacy, both as a Hollywood star and a real-life hero. At his funeral, his famous Tarzan yell echoed 3 times, a sound he was known for. This dramatic touch was a stark contrast to the simple ceremony, which was only attended by a small group of close family and friends. There weren't any big Hollywood stars there, which made the event feel even more quiet and private. Still, the funeral drew the attention of about 100 locals, many of them kids. A group of 6 motorcyclists even escorted the funeral procession to the burial site. One of the most touching moments was the presence of Samantha, a chimpanzee. She had been a companion to Jose Estrada, a man from Acapulco who had worked as his stunt double in a Tarzan movie shot in Mexico. Her being there reminded everyone of his close connection to his film roles and the challenges of working with animals. Interestingly, his wife, Maria, was there, but his daughter and other relatives were missing. With no famous stars and some family members absent, the funeral had a very solitary feeling. But even with a quiet end, his legacy still shines brightly through his amazing work, especially his unforgettable portrayal of Tarzan. But that wasn't the only sad event the Weissmuller family had to face. Just a few years later, they experienced another heartbreak. Johnny Weissmuller Jr., the son of the Olympic swimmer and Tarzan actor, passed away on July 27, 2006 from liver cancer. He was 65 years old. Johnny Weissmuller Jr. was born on September 23, 1940, in San Francisco. He was the first son of his and his third wife, Beryl Scott. Growing up in the shadow of his father's fame wasn't easy, but Johnny Jr. developed a love for acting. While he didn't become as famous as his dad, he still had a notable career in the entertainment world. Johnny Jr. got his first role in Andy Hardy Comes Home in 1958 when he was just 18. But after that, he stepped away from acting for a while to join the Navy, where he was part of an underwater demolition team. This showed his bravery and dedication, qualities that would later influence his acting. But stepping away from Hollywood wasn't forever. After his time in the Navy, Johnny Jr. returned to acting, appearing in several TV westerns like Sugarfoot, The Lawman, Death Valley Days, and Gunsmoke. These roles helped him establish himself in television. In the 70s, Johnny Jr. took on new challenges with roles in shows like The Streets of San Francisco, a popular police drama at the time. He also performed in plays, including on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which earned him praise for his acting skills. Throughout his career, he appeared in various films and TV shows like American Graffiti and Ewoks: The Battle for Endor, which gave him the chance to explore different types of characters. But even with all his acting achievements, Johnny Jr. couldn't escape some of the hardships of life. His battle with liver cancer eventually took his life. He passed away on July 27, 2006, at the age of 65, surrounded by his family. His passing was a stark reminder of how fragile life can be and the challenges the Weissmuller family continued to face. Johnny Jr. is remembered fondly by his family, friends, and colleagues in the entertainment industry. He left behind his wife Diane, their 2 children, and 4 grandchildren. What do you think was the most defining role of Johnny Jr.'s career, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this reflection on his life and legacy, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more.